slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't.
How to run faster, tips and tricks. That is the title of this video. I think one of the most important things to run faster as an athlete is to have a plan. Okay, do the very best you can to find a race course that's going to help, that's going to be conducive for you to run a fast time on. Okay, and think long term in your buildup. Okay, I think if you're training to run faster, you obviously have to do speed workouts, but that's not for every athlete. There's some athletes out there that have run very fast off of just consistent mileage. They're doing 30 to 40 miles a week or maybe higher, but they're very consistent with their mileage each week. And because they've stuck to their plan and they've maybe done some strides during their long runs, done some strides during their easy runs, they've sprinkled in some of those types of light sprint workouts in the middle of their consistent mileage every single week. That, for a lot of athletes, is how they get faster. They just work better on volume, they work better on consistent mileage, and they don't really think so much of speed. And again, for some athletes that start doing things that they're not used to doing, if they're more volume and they're more mileage based and they're not so much focused on speed, when they start to do speed workouts, they get injured. So I think for you to run faster, in terms of this topic of how to run faster, tips and tricks, I think more than anything, you have to do what works best for you. Okay, here on the channel, I always talk about, faster long runs is key to run faster. Doing speed workouts is obviously very important if you want to run faster over any distance, over 800 meters, 400 meters, up to the marathon or ultra marathon. For most athletes, they need to do the speed sessions. They need to get out and do some tempo runs. You have to stress the energy systems of the body to recruit those fast twitch muscle fibers to get to a point where race pace is no longer as challenging as it would be during an initial buildup, where you're just struggling to get out and do consistent miles or kilometers and getting to a point where you can run, say, 16 kilometers nonstop without stopping. A lot of us, including myself, there's times where during like the first few weeks of a buildup, you're jogging for a few miles, then you walk for a few minutes, and then you jog for a few miles and you walk for a few minutes, and then building yourself up to where you can run nonstop without having to stop. So hills is very important in terms of running faster and how to run faster. Running over hillier terrain activates different muscle groups that you're just not going to activate when you're running on flat surfaces. If you're training for a hillier course like California International Marathon or Boston Marathon, some of these hillier races, they require you to be, if you're training over just flat surfaces, you're going to have a hard time. Yes, you're going to be in great aerobic shape, anaerobic shape, but you have to get accustomed to running over hillier terrain to, again, activate those different muscle groups and to run faster and to get your goal race pace to feel easier for you. I think if we spend too much of our time running aerobically, again, this isn't for every athlete, but for many athletes out there, if you spend too much time running aerobically, you're just going to be a superior long, slow distance runner. Okay? There's athletes out there that are putting in faster tempo runs, that are doing track workouts, that are doing hill repetitions, maybe repeat 150 meter hill reps. I look at old videos of Sebastian Coe, where his dad was having him sprint all out up a 100 meter hill, and then he was jogging on the way down. Again, he was doing really hard 800 meter repetitions on the roads, and again with very short recoveries. That's the type of workouts you have to be thinking about. Obviously when you first start an initial buildup for your whatever race you're going for, your splits are going to be slower, and your recovery between those reps need to be much more. So, if you're trying to say break a 2:36 marathon, I think that's 6-minute mile pace. Your initial workouts might be running much slower than goal marathon race pace. So that might mean doing 1,600 meter reps on the track at like 6 minutes and 30 seconds, giving yourself 4 minutes of recovery. And then as your season progresses and as your buildup progresses, work toward getting those repeat 1600s under 6 minute pace, but giving yourself around 2 minutes of recovery in between each one of your 1,600 meter reps. So that's, as we get fitter, that's the goal. You know, your heart doesn't have to work quite as hard. Your ability to clear lactic acid more effectively definitely heightens. And again, the goal is to increase the intensity of your reps and decrease the recovery that you're giving yourself in between each one of those reps. And also remember, it takes about 28 days, and this is or between 3 to 4 weeks for the body to adapt any stress load you're placing on it. So if you're doing tempo runs right now, and say you're running them at like 7:15 mile pace, and you're having a really hard time doing a 3 mile run at 7:15 mile pace, be patient with yourself. Give yourself between 3 and 4 weeks, preferably out to around 28 days, just shy of a month, for your body to adapt to that. In 4 weeks' time, 7:15 mile pace is not going to be as challenging as it was when you first started doing it. So we run faster in terms of how to run faster, and these tips and tricks, these things that you can do to run faster. Strength training, you know, and again, I mentioned hill training, but also because it is a form of strength training, but also get in the gym once per week. Or if you're not in the gym, focus on strengthening your core, doing planks, push-ups, working on your upper body, making sure that your upper body is strong, your core is strong. Planks, crunches, side crunches. You know, if you're in the gym, medicine ball drills, box jumps, bench press. Also focus, if you have the option to do weighted sled drills, where you have a weight, you have a 45-pound plate on the back of a sled, and you can sprint for about 40 to 50 meters all out. That's some of the types of things that we were doing when I was stationed with the U.S. Army World Class Athlete Program. The National Strength and Conditioning Association was headquartered in Colorado Springs. And so our strength and conditioning coach even had us, the marathoners, doing those types of workouts. You can also order like parachutes on Amazon, where you can tie a parachute, have that parachute tied around your waist and sprint and have that parachute, that wind resistance, force you to lift your knees higher and pump your arms more. You can run faster by doing cross training. Think about doing like pole running, where you get in the deep end of a pole without a flotation device, and you're forced to pump your arms and pump your legs to keep yourself above water. Okay, pole running is a great workout because of the water resistance, and it's the closest thing I've found to land running. There's no impact on your ligaments or joints as well. So that is something that will definitely help you to run faster, because you're forced to really focus on your form as you're running in the deep end of a pool, especially without a flotation device. If you're wearing a flotation device, it's much easier. You can do long runs in the deep end of a pool because you have that flotation device to keep you up. You just focus on your form. Form goes a long way to run faster. You have to focus on staying as relaxed as you can, even when you're running easy. There's a lot of times where we as runners, we're out running very relaxed, very aerobically, but we start to tense up. And when you feel your face tensing up and you feel your body not being as relaxed as it should be, consciously tell yourself that, okay, calm down, I'm in great shape, relax, shake your arms out a little bit. But especially when you're running more aerobically, okay, that's where it really comes down. If you look at the best sprinters, the best marathoners, the best middle distance runners, Jakob Ingebrigtsen is an example of that. Watching him race on the track. There's so many other examples that are out there right now. But if you look at these top runners, they look very in control, very relaxed, and there's a reason for that. They've spent a much higher percentage of their weekly volume running at a much higher anaerobic effort. So if you want to run faster, again, this isn't for everyone, but for a lot of athletes, if you want to run faster, you have to make sure that you're spending a higher percentage of your weekly volume at anaerobic threshold or faster. Okay, you have to do one VO2 max workout a week. For some athletes at higher levels, that might be doing 2 VO2 max workouts a week, or maybe doing a double threshold workout every week or every other week. Okay, that mean, an example of that might mean doing like 10 1,000 meter reps on the track in the morning, and then doing maybe a 10 1 minute hard by 1 minute easy fartlek workout in the evening. Okay, so 2 very challenging workouts in one day. Again, you don't do that without first building a very strong aerobic base of knowledge and thinking long term and having a plan in place prior to doing those types of harder training workouts. So I hope this video, in terms of how to run faster, tips and tricks and things you need to be thinking about, is helpful for you. Obviously, there's a lot of resources out there that help us as runners to get faster. We have these new super shoes out there that help you to recover faster from faster workouts that you're doing. There's compression devices that are out there for you as well. I use these myself. I mean, the things that I share below my videos in the description, those are products that I use myself. So I'm not like a salesman, but at the same time, I'm going to share them with other athletes. Some of you may not be interested, but some of you are. And the reason why I do that, obviously, is to give you some hints and give you some tricks, give you some tips, give you some ideas that will help you get to the next level when you're racing. So if you have any other questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll definitely reach back out to you. I'll respond to every comment I get. And thank you so much for my subscribers, all my new subscribers, previous subscribers that have been with me from the beginning of this channel. Thank you so much for your comments and letting me know how you all are doing as well. You all are just as much a part of this channel as I am. So thank you for all that you do, preparing for your races and doing the very best that you can. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you all in the next video.